Hello, good morning everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. Please go ahead.
Good morning. Yes, you're audible. Thank you.
Vanchika Agarwal, Assistant Professor from Room Division Management. It gives me a great pleasure and pride to welcome you all for this prestigious national conference on transforming Bharat, the role of commerce, science and humanities in the 21st century, organized by the Zabru Singh Charitable Trust and Thakur Shamnarayan Degree College. Today is a very special day as we come together as academics, professionals and change makers across the country to share knowledge, exchange ideas, and grow together through meaningful discussion. I am also honored to introduce our two very special guests whose presence add great value to this event. We are delighted to welcome Chef Samir Sheikh, a highly talented and passionate culinary expert. Starting his career as a commie at Foodlink, he has worked his way up through important positions like chef de partie at Novotel, sous chef at Orchid, and sous chef at Siat Hospitality. Today he serves as the executive chef at IB. His skills has earned him national recognition, such as being runner-up at WICA, and he has also worked internationally with Swiss Consulting. Chef Samir's journey is truly inspiring and reflects his dedication to excellence and creativity in the culinary world. We are also privileged to welcome Mr. Ozim Feria, a respected hospitality educator and industry expert, and enlighten us. Let's make the most of this platform, learn from each other, and connect with each other. Thank you so much. Now I would like to, sir, please allow me to share the screen. Am I audible?
Yes,
You're
yes.
audible.
So I request our keynote speaker to please share his few words for this conference.
Good afternoon, all. Sorry, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Can I start?
Yes, sir, you can start, sir.
Okay. Morning. and I'm executive chef of Ibis Hotel Mumbai Airport. And today we'll talk about hotel industry and eco practices that influence the hotel industry. Hotel industry is a major segment of hospitality and tourism sector, lodging establishment ranging from the budget to luxury resorts for food and various service to travelers and tourists. So in that world, sustainability is a big motive to trend, and its responsibility to the hotel industry at embracing eco-friendly practices to reduce environmental impact, enhance guest experience, and build a better future. In today's world, a lot of hotels are engaging in eco-friendly practices. Like if you know, there are so many hotels in Mumbai also, like Orchid, which is a first eco-hotel hotel. Apart from that, the Melua Fun is also a well-known eco-hotel hotel. It's practice in their establishment eco-friendly practices like uh, in housekeeping terms, they are switching non-toxic biodegradable clearance supplies and linen and towels refreshed once only as per the guest demand. So it's automatically reduce the water consumption in gallons or each year. Apart from that, in kitchen, so many activities are taken to reduce uh, food carboning. Like uh, we are switching to a good equipment which are 5-star rating, which are power saving. Uh, then afterwards, some components, food wastage and grow hubs on site. Guests appreciate when hotels care about the planet. Green certificate and sustainability programs not only protect the environmental, they enhance brand loyalty and equipment. In kitchen, where the creativity and culture sustainability comes together, today we explore how the culinary sides of the hospitality is embracing eco-friendly practices to create meals that are both delicious and responsible. Hotels kitchen serves thousands of meals daily, from breakfast to lunch to dinner. As per fine dining also experience, this massive operation has major impact on food supply chains, water usage, water generation. That's why sustainability culinary practices are more important than ever. Even a dish tells a story, and when crafted with the sustainability in a mind, it tells a story of care, responsibility, and respect for our planet. Is continue to cook and serve with a general future in a mind. So let's contribute to innovate, educate, and elevate to making every meal step towards a better world. So I am thanking you, Thakur Shamnarayan Degree College and Thakur Institute of Hotel Management for giving me this opportunity uh, to share my few points and reviews on eco-friendly practices in specifically hotel industry. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chef, for the warm words. It was truly inspiring. So we are starting with the presentations. The first person is Mr. Dharmesh Todia.
second one. क्या? ये वाला.
चालू करो और इसको चेंज करके और ये रखना पड़ेगा.
Sir, good morning, sir. Am I audible?
Good morning. Yes.
And my name is Dharmesh Judia, sir. And I'm a faculty in Thakur Institute of Hotel Management. And right now I am presenting culinary innovations in healthy fast food. Right, sir?
Yes, sir. Very well to know your topic. You may proceed.
First, I would like to introduce in the background, which is how the fast food industry has transformed, and it is driven by the healthier and sustainable operations right now. We have gone through many culinary innovations of plant-based as well as alternatives, as fire-based, whole grains, fresh vegetables also being introduced, and we try to reshape our fast food itself. Now, all these things which have come into it. All these things which have come to it right now, and
Give me 2 minutes. I'm just having a technical issue.
yeah, technical. That's it.
So, are you able to see the presentation screen?
Now it's come up.
Perfect.
Okay. Fine, sir. So, I'd like to introduce you, sir, first. With the fast food industry, how it has transformed, and what are healthier options and sustainable options which have come, as well as culinary innovations which also being done on plant-based alternatives, as well as air fryers which has come into the market, and whole grains like burgers and whole grains fresh vegetables which also comes into it. So we are trying to reshape how the fast food, unlike the other fast food which are being available in the market today. So we are trying to do the healthier options. And due to these healthier options and healthier concerns which are being considered right now, which is obesity, heart disease, and diabetes, which are already being into the market right now, the consumer preference is going into the whole grains and the innovations itself. So we are trying to balance diet as well as affordability, because seeing the current scenario of the market of each and every, the price has been increased, and but the health options also we have to take into consideration. So there are various options, and the study also explores, and the culinary innovations also being developed, and fast food development is also being done. So seeing to the consumers' perceptions and public health. Okay, so we are doing to research problems, and have gone through the objectives how these culinary innovations will influence the healthier fast food. and how these culinary innovations will use in the fast food also, and how consumers will perceive the healthiest fast food, and what will the business impacts on the fast food itself, how it will affect the innovations of the public health. And after seeing all this and after taking objectives and analyzing the fast food of the culinary innovations, how the consumer will preference, how the business impact will be on the sales as well as customer, how the customer will change the loyalty into the fast foods of the culinary influences and innovation itself. So I would like to see the research gaps also, which the consumers prefers specific healthy fast foods, which I've gone through it, and the effectiveness in the fast foods as well as the data business and the nutritional health and the emerging consumer demand of the fast food industry. Also, health trends must also be adapted, and the justification that there will be competitions also regarding this. If we come into innovations, and if we come into the sales price of the healthier options and all, and if we make the market into this somewhat of a small amount of it, the consumer will try to get into the fast food itself of a healthier options. The sustainable consideration of eco-friendly innovations, like how we are going to pack these things, like suppose the plastic has got to be reduced, and the paper bags has got to be come in, which is already in the market right now, sir. Yeah, and coming into that, we like to make sure that these foods comes into local as well as regional and international food. So we are trying to mix blend in this innovation also, like coming to what we used to say, that the chefs and the nutrients also will come into it, and the food scientists, which what will the healthier options and what the product will go into this, and seeing and examining the market materials and different fast foods coming in. The participants will also, and we will have a food tasting also of each and everything. So, what the consumer preference is it like? Some of the what will you prefer? 45% of plant based and 32% of lower calories also, and 23 of them uh, who are into the whole grains and vegetables, they prefer that. So this is the analysis, and this is the consumer preference and the culinary innovations we're trying to go for the taste as well as for the nutritionals, as well as for if the flavor is lost and how we'll get the flavor into the food itself. Prices will somewhat get higher prices also, but the healthier options will be more to the consumer preference. These are the same thing which I told you to earlier, sir. And like for example, what are the positive impact of sales growth if we go into the Chipotle sides of a burger, which goes into the burger itself as McDonald's, which have already introduced in it, and what will be the implications? The implications will be opportunity for the expand health, and it will maintain by maintaining taste, price, as well as convenience also. uh, Potential reduced diet will be, it will lead it to disease, not much coming to it. We're trying to track and will not be able to go to that disease which the current market scenario is at, and by serving the food. It will be accessibility, it will be affordability, will be the key concern, and the healthier options will be gaining traction. The consumers also will be able to get the flavor as the cost also. Same thing at in conclusions, which I've already told that 45% prefer the plant-based, and 32% calorie meals, and 32% be food grains and vegetables. Major chains will be like McDonald's, Burger Kings, Subway, Taco Bell, which they are doing right now and adapting to a consumer demand. Business impact will be there. Okay, healthier menu options will be available to them, and the sales growth and the customers' loyalty will also come into place. Okay, culinary innovations is reshaping the fast food, and there's everybody is trying to shift towards plant-based ingredients, and cooking methods also will try to change. That air fryer, which I've already gone through it, and healthier options which remain tasty, affordable, and accessible to the customers, and the success depends on healthier fast food and values. Thank you for attention, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir, Austin, sir, and Samir, sir.
Well, thank you, sir, for presenting this idea in front of us.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, we do understand the craze is there with a lot of fast foods being used, convenience, time, other factors which the generations are currently looking into, and that leads them to walk into fast food outlets and pick up food. But on the other side, it leads to the junk.
Yes,
And,
sir. Sir.
yeah, and yes, and trying to innovate in this is actually a very good field of study, uh, considering the food trend which is there. Yes. Just a couple of questions which I had, and maybe Chef Samir can also pitch in the questions which Chef would want to have. Uh, During your studies, sir, the survey medium was via Google Forms, or was it done as part of in-person survey?
Google Forms.
Google Forms, okay. And did you have any division of groups according to the age criteria? Because we know fast food industry is something which has specific trends which it brings in, like how McDonald's is currently serving the Korean meals, understanding what is being liked by the younger generation, and accordingly, if some grouping was done based on age and the feedbacks divided according to that.
Yeah, your division of groups, sir, according to the age itself. Yeah.
Okay,
10 to 20, sir. Yeah. It might go to 30, 25 to 30 also, sir.
So maximum replies that you have are from which age group, sir?
Might be 25 to 30, sir.
25 to 30.
Students, sir.
Students and young working professionals
Yeah,
would add.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay, fine. And just wanted to understand from your studies, is there still scope for all the cuisine trends which are coming in the market to be included in the healthy options, or do they lead to some sacrifice of the healthier aspect just to bring about, for example, I just told you about McDonald's getting you the Korean trend.
No, sir. It can come into restaurants also, sir. Yeah, it can come into restaurants, and which we are not into McDonald's itself, into fast food itself, but the fast food, some of the restaurants also, it can come into place or that also. So we are targeting that also, sir.
Okay, very nice. I would still have a couple of questions, but if Chef Samir would want to add in something from his side.
Yes, sir, Chef Shamir. Good morning, sir.
Okay, Dharmesh, sir,
Yeah,
maybe till the time Chef Samir again
yeah.
comes back on the mic, can I just push in a couple of questions of mine?
Please, please carry on, sir.
Yes. Uh, Sir, in this kind of innovative, healthy options that fast food outlets can push in, do you see any difference that could come in when a single outlet operator or a chain operator tries to implement it? And would there be more response if the chain operates it, or would there be a better response if individual outlets would go with it?
I think so. Both of them have to take into consideration. My point of view is not into chain operation also, but somebody is starting a new also of their own also. They need to apply this, and this will create a healthier option to the person who is doing individuality also. It is not only chain also, but the individual person doing it is opening his own restaurant. And if he implies to try it, and it will go on the like publicity by mouth also, that some other cuisine also is being developing other than fast food. So there will be a healthier option for available for a single outlet also. I think so. Both of them have to do it simultaneously, sir.
Thank you, sir. And just one last one from my side. Was there any gap found in the research which indicated people had hesitations in moving towards healthier options in fast food?
Yes, sir. It was.
If you can elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, the gaps of the students are not into most of it the healthier options, sir. If you try to chip in for that, for example, a plant-based burger, if you try to tell them to eat it, they will not like it for the first burger, sir. They will not go for it. But we need to innovate, and we need to, I will say that, make fusion things inside the burgers itself to give more tasty and healthier options. Then only I think so. It will not going to. It will take years, I think so, to develop healthier taste and options for the students. It will take years to it. But definitely, if we try to tell them, I'll give an example also of a rice itself, sir. And if we tell them the rice is overcooked, right, and the rice is not cooked properly in a restaurant itself, there will be a complaint, sir, that the rice is not cooked or al dente it is cooked, right? It will complain.
Correct.
But if you give them healthier options, that if you eat at a al dente stage and all, it will not create sugar into your body and all, then they'll start having it, sir. It will, my answer is this, sir, because it will create a healthier option. And the more the rice is cooked to a very done stage and all, the more sugar develops into our body, sir. A simple example of a rice, sir.
Right. I think so. What conclusion I can come to is we getting into innovation, even we
Yeah.
have to get into consumer awareness.
Yes.
And yes, hand in hand, it could take it together.
Exactly.
Yes. Chef Samir, over to you to have a few questions to Dharmesh sir.
Yes.
Sir, good morning, sir. Samir, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, tell me, sir.
I think the point you raised just now about the rice,
Yeah,
even as a chef, when we are making a dish inside our kitchen,
yes.
uh, we observe that so many colleges students or the youngster,
Okay.
they are ordering which is uh, like only uh, a fast food like burgers and rolls and something kind of pizzas and all these things.
Yes, sir.
So this part is going towards the it's not unhealthy, but yet it's not a healthy too option.
Exactly.
So if you choose a rice, people are taking fried rice rather than dal khichdi.
Exactly.
So
Because that rice is being cooked to not to an al dente stage, and it creates a very crispiness also, and options are that there are more of vegetables inside it, and it is being fried and it is wok fried. The Chinese sausage which goes in it, but we need to see the healthier options also for this. And if you avoid the thing which the Chinese which is not having it, it will be better, sir.
and another
But dal
point you
khichdi
raised,
also, sir, it's an option. It's an healthier option again, sir.
a very healthier option, very
Yes,
healthier option.
it's an healthier option again than rice.
And about you raised that point about the plant based. So
Yes.
couple of months back we trial around uh, 29 products on plant based. In
Wow.
that I can example like a burger. So
Hmm.
even at my age around 40 or 44,
Okay.
so that plant based burger when I tried, yes,
Hmm.
definitely it will be an option, but it will not match our palatability because
Exactly.
we are very much what we call intact to our palatability to having a burger like McDonald's, Burger King, and other burgers.
See, our palatability, which I've already spoke to Ozin sir regarding, said it will take years to go because still we are not into that zone, sir. Ozin sir, if correct me if I'm wrong, sir.
Sir, I would agree on that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's basically the fashion which has also come in with the
Yeah.
different cuisines making its presence felt in the country, although coming into the country and still wanting to make themselves known to people. Something
Exactly.
that was done by the Oriental cuisine quite early was not done by the Italian so
Yeah,
fast.
Italian. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And I've been to many of the restaurants and all, and the fusion which they are creating right now, it is that air dryer, air fryer, air dryer, sir, air dryer, which has come into it. Where you, if you want a beetroot powder itself, you need to just put the beetroot, peel the beetroot, cut into the air dryer, and after a few hours, it converts into a powder itself, right? And that same powder can be utilized in one of the dishes and all for garnishing and all. So again, this will be an healthier option, sir, which I've seen through it in many of the restaurants. I'm audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yeah. So, are you aware of the air dryer, sir, which is being infused in the restaurants?
Yes, I think it's for a
Yeah.
couple of restaurants which are
Right.
trying to use it now.
Yeah. That's it, sir. Anything else, sir, Samir, sir?
No, nothing from my side.
Ozin, sir?
No, sir, I finished with my questions which I had noted down here for my side. Thank you very much for the presentation, sir. Nice
Thank you,
talking
sir.
to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Samir, sir, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. So our next presenter is Mr. Ashish Newgi.
Good afternoon. I hope I'm audible.
Good afternoon, Ashish, sir. Yes, you're audible.
Yes. Just 2 minutes. I will just present my PPT. Okay. Good afternoon, Samir Chef. Good afternoon, Austin sir. I hope I'm audible and my PPT is visible.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. I hope my PPT is visible.
Yes, sir. Affirmative to both.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So my case study was on impact of organic cuisine on the health. So I'll just start it. Okay. So organic food, I'm pretty sure most of us, everyone in our age group is aware about the organic food. So it is more and more increasing among the youth nowadays, and even if you can see in hotels as well, it is more popular among the celebrities and people who come from the sports background. Again, the reason to use organic food is it is chemical free, which is basically we don't use GMOs as well, and no fertilizers and pesticides. The main reason to use it is more beneficial for the environment, helps in combat with the soil erosion. Then definitely there is very less effect on the global warming, and definitely supports the water conservation and the water health as well. Uh, Now, if you see on Google as well, there is many research going on this subject of organic farming, and it is specifically mentioned as well as everyone among us knows that it comes with various health benefits among the youth. Definitely, the conventional food that we use. If we specifically take an example of the chicken that we use, so most of the chicken that we get in market is force feeded, and definitely if it is organic food, so it is not force fed and you get the natural thing out of it. Uh, now the main objective behind my study was to analyze the nutritional difference between the organic and the conventional food, which give the vitamins and minerals and beneficial nutrients that you require. Then to evaluate the potential health benefits of a diet based primarily of the organic food. Then to assess the consumer's perception regarding the health benefits of the organic food consumption. Definitely the results and the data which I collected will come in the next slide. So I just wanted to know among the consumers of the various age group, I wanted to know whether they are aware of about the organic food. Uh, and same way whether they are aware about the potential health benefits that it has got, and whether the parents are aware about the same, and are they making sure that their kids are having organic food or not. Now the gaps among the current basically the that we knowledge that we are lacking among us regarding the organic food. Now the long term health effects, limited research on the sustained impact of organic food on chronic disease like cardiovascular disease and cancer. So definitely we are aware if we use the conventional food, it comes with various pesticides. We make sure that we wash the food and we have it. But at times, definitely, even if we wash it, we don't get. It is not purely clean, and definitely it causes various diseases, and possibility of cancer also increases because of this conventional food. definitely the nutritional comparison. There is mixed finding on whether organic food provides significant nutritional advantages over conventional food. Yes, by various means we know that organic food is definitely better than the conventional food, because it is not basically you don't imply any specific pesticides and fertilizer, or even for that matter you don't force feed the specific what you call meat. Now, population diversity, need for broader studies across different socio-economic and cultural group to assess universal health benefits. Most of the population is still not aware. If we go to a rural part, everyone is aware about the organic food. Anyways, they are having organic food because there is no conventional method over there. But when this food is being sent to cities and we have it from various marts, we all know that it is manipulated with various what you call injections, and it is grown in conventional way. So definitely the urban part of our country is not aware about the organic food, and for cheaper products they go for this non-organic food, because definitely the organic food is comparatively expensive than the non organic food. The methods that I have used was purely Google form. So there was no other. Yes, definitely, I have used the Google as well to understand the difference between organic food and the non-organic food, which is more of a conventional food. I had put around 10 to 12 questions in the Google form, but over here I have presented 3 questions. So the very first question, which was very important, was what is your stance on safety of organic food compared to the non-organic food? Most of organic food is much safer. Only 50% people have told out of 14 responses that I received. So rest organic food is slightly safer, and both are equally safe. So still 21% of the people are not aware about the organic food as such. Now, how important do you think organic food is in the balanced diet? So only 35% of people from 14 responses are saying essential. There are many people still saying that not very important. So there is lack of knowledge about organic food among youth. In opinion of the responses that I got, does organic food have better taste compared to non-organic food? So organic food tastes much better is mentioned over here. Only 50% people tell such. So again, there are many misconceptions among the people whether they are not sure whether they are actually having organic food or non-organic food, because in market, if you buy through Zepto or Blinkit or any platform, even if you go to DMart, they sell the products in by labeling it as organic food. So we are actually not sure whether it is organic food or not. So again, we actually can't make it out whether it is organic. Now, my recommendations, and definitely even the government of India have initiated various steps to promote organic food among people. So what my recommendations are: encourage organic food consumption, especially for those concerned about chemicals. Public health policies should support organic food farming. So when it comes to public health policies, on the right hand side, you can see there are various Vikas Yojanas which are being launched by the government of India. So which is Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, Bharatiya Prakriti Krishi Paddhati, Mission Organic Value Chain Development for Northeastern Region, National Project on Organic Farming as well. Conduct long-term research on chronic disease prevention linked to organic food. Now there should be more research on this chronic food, not only from people from hospitality or hotel industry. In fact, from various backgrounds, they should come ahead and promote organic food. The conclusion is very much clear by the image that you can see, the healthy diet and the unhealthy diet. What all if you have conventional food, there is chances of various heart disease, you have diabetes, cancer risk, and there are more visits to the doctors as well. Definitely, you inhale and you eat chemical products, so that's the reason you have various such kind of disease that you are prone to have. Further research required to confirm long-term effects of organic food consumption. Nowadays, organic food is being sold on various platforms like initially I told Zepto and Blinkit. But you can see the rate difference. When they sell organic food and non-organic food, they make sure, I will give you an example of onion. Now, onion, when they say regular onion, they sell it for almost 18 to 20 rupees per kilo on Zepto. But when it comes to when they label it as organic food, they sell it for 50 rupees per kilo. So definitely people from middle class definitely can't afford this thing. So definitely people like us will definitely go towards the onion which are priced at 20 rupees, and we will not take 50 rupees onion. So there should be somewhere subsidy given by the government as well, wherein the rate should not differ, and there should not be conventional food available in market as such. And organic food should be made available at a cheaper price to the local public, or you can say middle class people as well. So I hope my presentation was pretty much clear on this organic food, the difference between organic and conventional food. So, sir, if you have any questions, please do ask. Austin,
you.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Ashish, sir, for the presentation.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. I think it's a very good topic that you put up for discussion as well.
Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Yes. Okay, just a couple of questions from my side.
Yes, sir.
With respect to all the questions that you had put up in the survey, what is your overall opinion upon the awareness which is there about this kind of food, and would you want to divide it within different age groups? See, we already have an age group which is 45 or 50 plus, and since they have got a type of food which they have eaten during their younger days, they are easily able to relate to what we talk of today.
Right.
Yes, and then we have a younger generation where we see again two types of crowd. One which is very much aware about health and health benefits and want to switch over to it, and the other one which is not. So, did you find any difference during your surveys with all the questions that you had put in about people's perceptions towards organic food?
So I will tell you through Google form which I received. Definitely, I received the data from students or maybe regular people whom I'm in contact with from our age group, say around 30 to 35 or 35 to 50. So now, when we have any food at home, definitely we go for things which are available in market, and definitely what we do is according to our budget we buy the products. Now, as I told initially during my presentation, when we go to buy any onions or for that matter potatoes, if it is almost 50% less than the organic products, definitely I will go for the lesser price because our budget doesn't fit into. Now, same thing if we implement the same thing into hotels. Now, hotels, as per the menu, they purchase only the conventional food, or you can say non-organic food, because again they have to run on their budget. When they introduce a healthy budget, definitely the prices go up because the healthy budget will have only organic food which is being served. So that was the difference. Basically, if you go to hotels, again the prices go up, but in at our local home, definitely we can't afford organic food each and every time because it is almost double the price of whatever you get in the market. And same thing goes for the students or maybe the people of our age group. They go for the budget food. So definitely, and taste doesn't differ as such, if I would say. Even if I give you onions or potatoes of organic or non-organic, you will not be able to make out difference as such unless you get a label on it. Because we are not that perfect to recognize it unless and until you have this FSI or anyone steps into it and they label it properly and they monitor it in the market.
Okay. Yes, sir, we do have APEDA which looks into it.
Yes.
And yes, so we have PGS as well. PGS.
But there should be no price differentiation of almost say they are charging 50% or 100% more than the regular products.
Yes. So I agree to the point which you have put in. If people actually get an option of going towards organic at not a very high difference of price range, a lot of people would not mind switching to it.
Yes.
Yes, that's what. Is there anything that you came across in your studies about the distribution network which is there for such kind of organic food? See, once it gets grown at places and it gets distributed at different locations, distribution again becomes a challenge with organic, especially fresh food which is there, because transportation, logistics, the time taken in delivery, all this could affect the quality of the food. Was there anything that you found out during the research?
No, as such, but generally when we move around nowadays, you can see people directly from the farms. You can see that come up with a truck. For example, say from Vasai or Virar, you have this various farms. So what they have done is nowadays they come up with a truck, they load every product, and they come and stand in certain areas and they sell their product rather than having a middleman. If you try and give these things to the middlemen, they are definitely going to do some manipulation with the product and to increase the size of that product. But when you get directly these things at your home by the farmers, then definitely you can make it out that yes, this is the proper original organic food, and you can get at a cheaper price as well because they are selling it directly to you and having the middleman being eliminated. Same way, if you go to DMart and you buy this, they have differentiated organic food and non-organic food. Definitely, they will charge you more price because they are finally the middleman. They buy it from the farmers, then there is middleman, and then it goes to DMart, for example, and then you buy it. So definitely the prices go up. So this is the difference which I saw, that if you buy it directly from the farmers, if they are coming at your doorstep and selling it to you, which will be much more better.
Right, sir. I was quite happy with you presenting the example of chicken also, because that what happens a lot of time is when people talk of organic food, uh, only vegetables run in their minds, and
Right.
that is where the
This
limitation also comes.
I will share you the reason. Suddenly, it came to my mind is not from the presentation. I did not have this chicken part being put into what you call PPT as well. This came in my mind during my what you call uh, working days in hotels, say around 2013. At that time, there was a organic menu planned specifically as a festival at Sun and Sun Hotel. So we had this organic festival being put up. So when we were selling this thing to the basically guests, even our staff members were not aware what is organic food. So at that time, I had given this example to my staff members that what is organic food. So basic example which I gave is let's take a example of a chicken who freely roams around in the farm and eats whatever they get, and there is other chicken which are force feeded to increase the size. So suddenly that came in my mind and I gave the example of organic food. Otherwise, wherever photos you see of organic food, everything they come up is only with the vegetables and fruits. There is no meat products as such which is being shown.
Yes, that's why I was quite happy with what you spoke of.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. So, just to sum up from my side, before we have Chef Samir also put up a few questions, I think this is one again good area of study uh, where there is still a lot to be done.
Yes.
As you said, there is good amount of intervention from the authorities which is needed to have it come across for people. If people do get options, they will rather would want to come and work into it.
Exactly.
Yes. At close of your research, sir, do you still leave a gap where people could take it further?
There should be proper promotion. That's what I feel when I did my study. So this was not an extensive study, which we can say, because if we go for extensive study, you will definitely find a huge gap of using an organic food. So there should be proper promotion in the market. Definitely, government intervention is required, and definitely this should be promoted in colleges as well among the students, because this is the only next generation who will understand what it is. And I will tell you, 80 or 50-60% of the students will not understand the difference between organic food and conventional food. So this is the gap which is still needs to be covered. Once they come to know, definitely there will be a huge change.
Right. Thank you, Ashish sir. We can hand it over to Chef Samir if Chef has questions.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Austin sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Samir Chef? I think so. He's not there in the meet.
Okay, maybe network issues for him.
Yes. I will call him personally and ask the questions.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you,
Any,
sir.
any other question, Chef? Sir?
No, sir. It's all that's there from my side.
Sure. Thank you so much, Chef.
Thank
Sir.
you. Thanks.
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 Thank you, Ashish sir. Our next representative is Miss Saili Saraiya.
Hello, good afternoon. I hope I'm audible.
Good afternoon, Saili. Yes, you're audible.
Good afternoon. Okay, so very good afternoon to everyone. My topic is green practices in hospitality. So this was the research that I have done regarding green practices. We all know when it comes to eco practices, there is awareness. But if you ask a question that how many people are actually doing it, how many people are into it, putting some action into these things, are very less. People are aware, but I don't know how many people are actually taking certain steps for doing it, making it happen. Now, when we talk about introduction to green hospitality, so there is hospitality industry having a significant environmental footprint. Since there is a lot of food production going on, there is a lot of lighting going on, sound, energy, a lot of waste. So all these things need to be managed. When it comes to green practices, we have Orchid Hotel, which was the first certified hotel, ecotel in India, which is having multiple branches overall in India now. Next, green practices focuses on energy, water, and waste management. So there is water waste management as well. That is HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Since we can say there is a huge amount of hospitality sector taking up the energy, water, and waste management, which needs to be taken care of. Which, as of now, if you see, there are multiple brands like Marriott's, Hyatt, and many other resorts which have come up with different ideas like solar panels, then different kind of energy saving techniques, thermostats as well. Adoption of sustainable methods is crucial for planet and business. So right now it's crucial because it's not just something that we want, or we are just doing it for a trend. Rather, it's essential for the society, essential for our planet and the business. So when it comes to energy conservation hotels, there is LED lighting. So LED lighting gives you an option where you are saving certain amount of energy, and which allows you to be allowing you to give out certain appliances which are having which produce more of light and give out less of electricity, like the smart thermostats using of solar panels, as we have 24 hours hot water facilities in properties and in hotels, and renewable energy sources. Energy audits and automation of HVAC and kitchen systems are very important. So energy audit, so there was a basically I had taken a survey on Google form. I haven't put it up here in my PPT. There were 10 different questions. So among that, there was a question where how many people are aware of eco-friendly initiatives, and how many hotels that they have been to have they know that they have implemented certain kinds of technology or certain kind of action to get into energy consumption. So that is about like 80% of people are not aware, like the properties or the hotels that they are going to, they just simply book some property and they are going, like there is awareness, but again people don't know about it. And there was one more question about how many there are certain kind of programs and certain kind of activities which go on in the hotels of certain days. Like there is one day where during my training I had seen in Westin. So they had shut down the lights for a good 1 hour 60 minutes, where they are trying to make people aware. The biggest joke was, even after telling the people, like the guests who were trying to get in, after seeing the lobby lights, shut off, they were like, "Oh, the hotel is not working. What is happening?" So, since there are people who are aware, but still you have to make, the younger generation and we have to promote it as much as possible and make it even happen, not just promoting it, actually doing it. Conservation practices. So by simply installing low flow fixtures and reusing gray water. So there is potable water, gray water that can be reused. They can be reused even in toilets and even kitchens. There is even efficient laundry systems and kitchen water management. So as I mentioned now, even when it comes to sustainability, there are different kind of laundry agents and different kind of chemicals which are very bio-friendly. So eventually everything which is going into the oceans, wherever it is getting dumped or ditched just simply like that, needs to be even taken care of. So right now if we see certain kind of chemicals and certain kind of agents which are there in the market, they are quite biodegradable and very environment friendly. Rainwater harvesting and landscape irrigation using native plants. So rainwater harvesting has also even started in individual residential areas and even in our hospitality sector in different kind of properties as well. Waste reduction strategies. So there needs to be a strategy. First, there need to be an audit to figure out that what actually is getting wasted. So, for example, there is food waste management. This can be done by controlling your inventory and keeping a track about weekly, monthly usage and how much is the sale and everything. Recycling programs. There are different kind of recycling programs that we have throughout the properties. Then there is a minimizing single-use plastics, eco-friendly cleaning products. So there are different kind of products that we use, like for example, a simple toothbrush. So there are toothbrushes, there are combs which are made up of wood. So that is way better and eco-friendly. Digital transition. So there is no need of actually getting touch into the hotel's staff and doing your check-in check-out. We can just simply download the applications and get our check-in and check-out done hassle free. Reusables and inventory management should be done. So there are things which can be reused, and there also should be awareness that is involving guests. Now as I said, I had seen this day where there was the lights were off and everything for a good amount of 1 hour. So such things make the even guests aware about this, because we are having the whole hotel using a lot of energy, electricity. Impact and consumer trends. So there is 73.9% of travelers who value eco-friendly accommodation. So this was one of my questions in the survey, and there were like 53 responses to this question that I had in my survey form. So about like 74% of travelers do value eco-friendly accommodation. So people are wanting to get into more accommodations which are practicing green hospitality. Eco certification influences booking decisions, and green practices improves the brand image and guest loyalty, because what is happening is slowly and steadily it's becoming essential. It's a requirement. This is not a want, or it's kind of a fashion that needs to be followed. More we require it. It's very essential in today's world. So that was it from my end. Austin sir,
Yeah, Sahili, thank you for the wonderful presentation.
thank you so much sir.
Yes, very good topic, rather something that is need of the hour and need for the future as well.
Yes sir.
Okay, couple of questions from my side before we can hand it over to Chef Samir. I don't know if he is still in the network. So, first and foremost, when we try to implement green practices in the hotels, You've already said about a couple of things which were experienced from the guest, that is the awareness levels being not very high and hotels trying to create an awareness with the guests as well. Uh, is there anything that is found by you in your studies with respect to the staff awareness about such kind of initiatives?
Yes. If you talk about the youngsters, there are youngsters who are actually aware about this, and there are people. So I would not say that everyone is aware in the hotel and in our hospitality sector, but there are people who are giving out some or the other kind of different ideas to how to get into sustainability and how do we actually practice and put it into action, because not everything is doable at times. You can't just switch off all the ACs and switch to the fans and do as such, or you can just cut down a lot of your inventory, because again you get there are sudden spikes in orders. There is a sudden requirement of guests for having rooms. So we can't exactly figure out completely about how much can be done, but obviously there could be some or the other thing which can at least contemplate to the idea of sustainability.
Right. In your studies, did you find any mentions of automation ideas which could help us get into more of green practices?
Yes, so for automation now there is check-in, check-out that could be happening. Then there could be orders that uh, gets placed, which are even happening not just in hotels. They are happening either ways outside the properties as well. The regular food deliveries. Besides that, there needs to be more some initiative. I haven't gone through a lot of extensive research about it, but yes, there are hotels who are offering all these small kits that we offer, the essential kits and the guest essentials that we offer. There are changes in that, like the combs or the toothbrushes or some valuable kit that we offer. So they have converted those things rather than into plastics to something sustainable and biodegradable.
Okay, great. Sally, I want to, not as a question, but I just want to complement the idea that you have spoken of. You said approximately 73.9, that's 74% of your survey sample agreed for eco-friendly accommodations.
Yes.
Yes, so I want to complement that by one of the other statement that you had put in, where you said a lot of youngsters are aware of this. Now, a research was conducted in the same lines, and a lot of millennials who are travelers, so Gen Zs who are travelers.
Yes.
From that, approximately 84% of people were ready to pay higher price for hotels which were offering them,
Yes.
yes, accommodations which are environment friendly.
Yes.
Yes, so paying higher for getting environment friendly accommodations, if this is a trend which comes into a new generation, I think it could be a very beautiful ideas for hotels also to implement it and use it as an USP.
Yes. It does.
Yes, yes, right, right. So it's actually a very good topic to look into.
Thank
Sally,
you.
just one question, final from my side before I can hand it over to Chef.
Sure.
Uh, you used two words in your entire presentation. One was upon the green practices, where the heading starts with. Yes, and second is about eco practices. Would you be able to differentiate between the two?
Okay. So eco practices, eco-friendly, something which is good for the environment and can be reused, recycled, that becomes eco-friendly, eco practices, and even considering the agents and chemicals that we used while cleaning. And when it comes to green practices, it the meaning to it is similar. the meaning are similar to green practices and eco-friendly. More of, I would say, green practices involves being aware about the nature, taking care of the nature. So you are not just using a lot of plastics and trying to again, because it takes a lot of years and years to for the plastic to again, get vanished completely from our world or our planet. I think that is about it. I might be wrong, but that is
Okay. Uh, yes, I'd agree to a lot of statements that you have put in. I'll just add in to rather make the idea more broader. When we talk of green practices, it is right from the making of the product till the delivery of the service. Everything involves in that. So even if I'm thinking of putting up a hotel, I would start from the very design of the building, which will allow more of natural light to come in, which will allow more options of natural cooling to happen. So I end up using less of your HVAC options that you put into the presentation. So green practices is much a broader concept into which the eco practices also come.
yes.
Yes.
Building the infrastructure in such way that yes, it will benefit you,
Yes.
benefit the environment. Yes.
Yes. In totality. Yes. Chef, if you're around, over to you to have questions.
So he's not there in the meet.
Okay.
Samisha.
Okay, fine. I think then I'm done with the questions, Saili. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sani ma'am. Our next representative is Ms. Anushka Pathak.
Good afternoon. I hope I'm audible.
Ma'am, good afternoon. Yes, you're audible. There is a little echo. I think there is a second system around by which the echo comes in. So if that can be taken care of.
Just sure, I'll have that taken care of.
I think it is done now. Yes.
I hope my screen is also visible.
Yes, the screen is visible.
Yes. So my topic is analysis of modern coffee drinking habits. So coffee being a topic that has been very close to my heart, I chose to go ahead with something that I've seen as a change by myself while working in the industry, as well as someone who consumes coffee outside and inside of house as well. So, with coffee being something that has been a very popular beverage, especially with cafes coming in and Starbucks as an international brand entering Indian markets in 2012, and the changes that we saw in the coffee consumption that people usually chose to go for before COVID and after COVID is what led to this presentation being a bit of an off topic considering to eco practices. So, with majorly the COVID being coming into play, that with your prices increasing and people being discouraged about how to or what to go into to lead to buy actually the coffee products, uh, post COVID, majority of the coffee shops or even the cafes, in order to sustain their business, try to have the prices increased just so that they could at least make break even or sustain whatever losses that they had faced into during COVID, which led to people being discouraged to not buying coffee from the coffee shops, but going back to what their traditional coffee used to be. The texture that we see in coffees that we make at home, which is usually an instant coffee, compared to what is in the shops, that is a portafilter, which is used to make coffee from fresh coffee grounds, definitely gives a different texture. But instant coffee is something that has consistently been, since its introduction in 1990s, instant coffee has consistently been a very popular product, even opposing to what amount of effort that goes into making tea. And I think inadvertently people chose to go into a practice that led them to make coffees at home, and that made it an eco practice, considering that even the sales of coffee shops went down there. Waste management was more taken care of, considering that there were lesser coffee grounds, lesser coffee products, lesser byproducts, which are your straws and your sugar and your cups, which went into selling of these. The aim was to see if there was actually a change in the coffee trend post COVID, and how much of sustainability is it going to support. So, majorly after COVID is when we saw that there was better practices taken into play to ensure that there are lesser of waste that is generated, which led to there being eco-friendly or at least biodegradable coffee cups, coffee straws, even metal straws became something that is popular. The covers that went for the sugar sachets or even the straws became biodegradable. Along with that, uh, along with that, even the brands started selling their own coffee byproducts, which were apart from what coffee as a product that they sold. They started selling coffee cups. They started selling different coffee brewing methods like cold brew, or even Turkish coffee, or even French press became popular as a product that these coffee shops would sell to their customers, ensuring and also promoting that coffee can be made at almost anywhere and everywhere now. The research methodology that was used was a Google form with a quantitative experimental research approach. There was a structured survey and a questionnaire that was shared with people, and the results were obtained. Two of I've only included two of these here, which one which shows what is the preference of people who buy coffee, with majority still being an instant coffee powder compared to what a store bought or a coffee machine that people do buy. And the second one being what discouraged them initially to go into coffee shops, which majorly included the prices, which was affected due to the COVID practices. Apart from these, uh, like I've mentioned, that there are different coffee apparatuses or coffee products that by products that are sold by these cafes, in order to ensure that there is some way that they can sustain with their business apart from just selling coffee or even coffee grounds, in hopes also to be able to cater to specific audience which are going to be favorable for coffees in cafe shops, as well as to include the sustainability measures as well. Thank you. Also, sir, if there are any questions?
Yes, Anushka ma'am. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Before I get into the topic much, you said just because coffee is very close to you, you had picked up this topic. So you would let me know what is
Yes,
your
sir.
preference in coffee.
I take my coffee with sugar and milk, but the cold milk, not the hot ones. Ice cold.
Okay, great. Fine. Uh, in one of the places you had a survey which you portrayed, and that spoke of health as one of the factors which demotivated people to go to coffee shops and have coffee. Did you find anything specific in detail about what are the health concerns that people express?
So, the health concerns, what I found with them was, considering that in most of the times, coffee is, I mean, it generates heat in the body. Most of the people, or some of the people actually, who put in health as a problem, found out that they would often have indigestion problems after they consume coffee from outside of houses. I think considering that what coffee you make at home has more percentage of chicory than the actual coffee ground, and the ones that we have in cafes usually use coffee ground and portafilter to make their coffees, has a higher content of coffee and caffeine in the ones that are sold in the coffee. Considering that, I believe that is the after effect that they have faced.
Okay. Being a coffee lover, would you be able to even elaborate on few of the benefits of having coffee?
So it started off as a stimulant, considering that coffee is something that now generation of millennials and Gen Zs use coffee as something that helps them to keep up at night. Apart from it being a sleep depriving agent, now the health benefits also point out to the fact that in taken in proper quantities and not excessively consumed, it helps with digestion. It also helps with cutting down of liver fat, specifically when it comes to black coffee. But apart from these, because my survey was more into uh, how people prefer to have their coffee and why, I could not go much into their medicinal or health benefits of it.
Okay. What makes Starbucks go so costly?
They're apart from the fact that they are an international brand who is in India with alliance of with Tata, their quality of beans that they produce, they have single sourcing also, that most of their beans which come from south of India, now they have started sourcing it from different places, some of them in Orissa, some of them in Malabar Hills and all of those places. But it is also the brand value and the good will that they carry along with them of coffee being served from Starbucks as something that is always of supreme quality. That is an assurance that they have been able to establish internationally as well as nationally.
Okay, fine. And as part of your research, till where you have got it now, do you find any gaps which can be covered if somebody takes the research even further?
What can be done further is to at least find, I would prefer to have more eco-friendly practices brought in, which now brands like Starbucks have already started with, where if a customer is bringing in their own coffee cup, which is something that they have brought from Starbucks, they're allowing them a certain percentage of discount to motivate other people to get into this eco-friendly practice. But I think there has to be something more than that that can go into it. And apart from just it being constrained to coffee selling or cafe shops, it can also go more broader into fast foods as well. That is something that can be researched.
Okay. Just a last question from my side to close. It's a little more on the extensive study which, if you have come across, most of the coffee which is utilized by coffee brands comes from developing countries. Uh, do you see it as an extraction of a resource which is used by rich brands to pull out resources from these countries and sell them at higher prices to make corporate profits?
The most of the businesses of course do have their end goal as profit being one of those. But considering that I have come across at least three brands, which is, one is a third wave coffee, one is Starbucks, and the other one is Blue Tokai. All three, whichever brands, I'm sorry, whichever outlets that you go to, they also have coffee which is sourced in India itself. So I'm assuming that whenever these brands also go internationally, they will at least have their coffee sourced locally, if not from the same country, to ensure that they even save their cost on importing these, and to ensure that they are able to provide some employment in that country as well. That is for at least these three brands I've seen for sure, that because they are in India, they take coffee plantations from India itself. I'm aware that considering that if different countries will have different coffee brands and different coffee beans that they produce will give you different flavors, but they have been able to do this maybe to add to the flavors that they already had, or to make sure that because that is a coffee bean uh, which is being produced in that country is more useful and more uh, sustainable for them. That also adds to it. But then there are brands like Tim Hortons and Costco which still bring coffee, or even 7-Eleven which brings coffee from outside of India. Something that the brands can also work on.
Okay. Thank you very much, Anushka ma'am. Nice talking to you after a long time as well. Thank you very much for the
Yes, sir.
presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Anushka ma'am. Our next presenter is Miss Nimisha Yera.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Chef.
Good afternoon, Nimisha. You're audible. Yes, the screen is also visible. Thank you.
Okay, sir. So I have started. I'm starting the presentation. The topic of my presentation is the eco practices that influence culinary industry. So I know this subject is very vast, so I'm concluded into small things. The paper explores that interaction of the culinary innovation and the technology, which we already used in very in the hotel in the term of the modern gastronomy. The introduction part of my presentation, the first point is the culinary innovation is the transition from to the traditional to the technology. Like first in the ancient time, we used to make the products or the food preparation by the using of stone or coal. Now that all technology, the tradition way is turned into the various type of technologies like the sous vide cooking or the robotic or the AI preparation cooking robots or anything. The purpose of the impact, or you can say the technology, is to uh, experience the consumers as well as the efficiency in the production. The historical context in the, as you see, the innovation in food, which in the ancient time we use the cooking tools and the fire or the stone of the cooking. In the 20th century and onwards, we are using the refrigeration, gas stoves, fast food process or the preparation. And in the 21st century, we are highly techno savvy people. What we are using the robotic AI options or the cooking method. The methodology of my research, first is the quantitative and the qualitative as well. The quantitative, I did the survey and the by the using of the Google form. And the qualitative, in the qualitative method, I used to take the interviews for the of the chefs or the my students, whoever who is you currently working in the hotels. Then the smart kitchens, restaurant, crowd kitchens, I also gather the information of them. The result what I get, it is overall the last 50 numbers. The smart ovens we are using in the hotels is the 68%, as we are preparing the food production, most of the bread preparation of the bakery products into the ovens. The sous vide equipments which we use to make the sous vide production, as it is a vacuumized preparation of the food. The AI powered recipes and the generator is the percentage of 38%, which is actually using in the Japan. Like in the Japan, they are using the AI powered recipes generator, where you just need to put the bowl. The ingredients is already placed. As per the instruction you are giving to the AI, they prepare the foods. And the fifth one is the 3D food printers. As we know, we are using the 3D food printers to the printing on the cakes or the sign of the logo of the hotels we are using. And last one is the kitchen management app, which is 74%. The management app we are using to basically for using the you can say the inventory of the storage or the wastage diagram for the kitchen. The conclusion of the research is the technology and the revaluation of culinary industry improves the food production, preparation, and the consumption. The technologies like the precising cooking, same as the sous vide cooking, the robotics, alternative proteins we offered for the creativity and the sustainability. Then the rising social and environmental concern uh, about my topic, and the impact of this technology will continue to influence the future of the food, which is more convenient for the consumer. As of now, this is the research what I did.
Okay, thank you, Nimisha, for the presentation. I just want to reconfirm the topic. It is eco practices which influence the culinary industry.
Yes.
Okay, right. Okay, I think we are facing each other twice in 2 months.
Yes.
Okay, right. Uh, just a couple of questions that I have. You said you've done some surveys on Google Form, right?
Yes.
Can you just let me know a couple of questions that you have used on the Google Form and what kind of answers perceived from that?
The survey which I did, it is about the age group of 20 to 30.
Hmm.
They are using, they are the youngsters of the hotelier, and the questions we are using, I used is how they use the, you can say the modern gastronomy techniques or the sous vide cooking in the hotels, how that effectively works in the food preparation, etc.
Okay, great. You said you had even a couple of interviews which were done with people who are
Yes,
already
I
there
took
in
the
the
interview
industry.
of the chef who is working in the Four Season. He is one of my friend.
Uh-huh.
So he told me to about the certain things that they used in the hotel, which is first they use the modern gastronomy for the presentation purpose of the base, specifically for the bakery or any signature dishes that they prepare in the hotel.
Right. Okay, Nimisha, what I want to ask again is we are looking at eco practices which are influencing the culinary industry, and at the same time, we have consumers who are more on Insta for their food rather than what goes in their stomach. So, is there a challenge in the industry to balance it? Because we are looking at eco practices which could be entered into, and at the same time, a consumer is looking at a food which can be presented in a very enhanced manner so that it first goes on the social media before it goes in the stomach.
Yes, because as my opinion about it is the first, in whether whenever we go in the restaurant we took the photo first and then eat. The time of the preparation of the product might be the higher than the preparation of the traditional one. So might be the consumer is facing the problem, and might they like the impact on the restaurant reviews also by the clicking some of the picture which is not if the food is not prepared in a correct manner or something. So there will be the error as we are using the robotic or the AI version, or we can say the 3D printings and anything which we produce for the consumers in the hotel or the restaurant.
Okay, what if somebody thinks of getting very traditional practices of making food and putting it in commercial lines to put as a restaurant and serve people? Do you think people will still put a preference? Like, for example, chutneys being made in stone grinders and then served to people. Would you still think people would take a interest in such kind of food, or people would still prefer things to come fast on their table?
Actually, as per my opinion, the preference of the consumer will be the faster food, because chutney, if as you said the example of the chutney is prepared in the stone, I mean the grinder or something, which we get the chutney delivered in our restaurant or the hotel or the anything, which is grinded well and which is more faster than the traditional one. So I think the preference of the customer will be the faster one preparation of the food.
Okay, fine. And the last question, which comes from my end, is since we have switched from a lot of traditional practices to modern practices in food preparations, and of course, a lot of them are not eco friendly, a lot of them tend to be eco friendly. The reason I am saying this statement is because the question also comes from clients or guests in terms of hygiene, food quality, and food safety when we turn around to a lot of old methods of cooking food. So, does this pose as a challenge when you want to introduce the traditional equipments into kitchen management?
Yes, it will be the challenge because traditionally as of now, I'll give you the example of the biryani. The biryani is prepared in the ancient time by the heating and dum to the giving the dum to the biryani. Now we are using the continuous method like the dum biryani, but in some of the hotels we are using uh, the ovens or the, you can say, the rational, which we directly put the rice and everything which is marinated and the biryani is prepared. So most of the people, I would say 50% of the people goes for the traditional method and 50% will be the goes for the technology which we introduce now.
Okay, thank you, Nimisha. That's all from my side for the questions. Thank you very much for the presentation and the idea presented in front of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nimisha ma'am. So the next presenter is myself, Vanshika Agarwal. So please allow me a moment. Let me share my screen.
Yes, Vanchika, sure.
So is my screen visible? Hello.
Yes, it is visible.
A very good afternoon, everyone. So my topic is adapting sustainable methods in culinary industry. So the main focus of my research was that sustainability has reshaped the culinary industry in many ways. The study examines eco-friendly practices and their effects on environmental sustainability, operational efficiency, and consumer behavior. It mainly focuses on the benefits, challenge, and what all can be implemented in the industry. So the main aim of the study was to investigate the range of eco practices that has been happening in culinary industry, which gives impact majorly on environmental factors as well as economic performances, as well as it shows a social responsibility of every individual person. The key practices that we can explore is that waste reduction, energy efficiency, local sourcing of the materials that can be used in our industry, as well as sustainable packaging that includes the food packages that will be given as a takeaway to the customers once they are done, where we can use banana leaf as a food packaging or reusable or biodegradable materials. So the methodology that I used for my research was qualitative data, where I interviewed few of the chefs, managers, and sustainability experts. Quantitative data, where the survey form was given or was shared to the people, as well as some reports that helped me figure out the actual acceptance that was needed. The key economic practice it identified that was the food waste management, composting and donation programs. So the composting here means the natural decomposition which was needed, as well as local and seasonal ingredients that supports local economy, reduces carbon footprint, as well as energy efficiency, use of modern and energy saving appliances, and where we can also use solar panels as a sustainable development, as well as packaging, as I mentioned earlier, biodegradable and reusable materials. The benefits and challenges. The benefits was reduced operational cost over time, stronger brand reputation. Stronger brand reputation means if you are accepting such sustainable materials, you will be happening in the market. Your name will be increased in the market. Increased consumer loyalty or customer loyalty. That means whenever customer is coming, he will be adapted towards the new facilities that is provided to him or her. Challenges that will be like initially, if you are coming up with sustainable methods, it will cost you, but it is a long time investment as sustainability and eco practices happening in the future basis. Supply chain limitation, that will be like not everyone will be having sustainable or eco-friendly products, so there we have some limitations, as well as lack of staff training on sustainability. Not everyone is still not everyone is having the knowledge related to sustainability, so there will be facing some challenges to train them. Consumer insight, according to my research and as per my research, 78% of consumers prefer dining at sustainable establishment. Eco efforts positively influence customer engagement, perceived value of the brand, and repeat customers. And for the conclusion, eco practices are vital for long-term sustainability in the culinary industry. It also benefits us in environmental as well as economic needs, which will also help us in stakeholders collaboration, supportive policies, and ongoing training and education, where we can educate the upcoming hoteliers to accept sustainability and eco practices so that it can be a global sustainability effort. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Vanshika, for the presentation.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, I'll just repeat the topic. It was about adapting sustainable efforts in culinary industry.
Adapting sustainable methods.
Methods. Okay, fine. So
Yes.
adapting sustainable methods in culinary industry.
Yes.
Okay. A couple of questions coming out from the presentation itself.
Sure, sir.
Okay, you recommended at one place about use of banana leaf as a material which can be used for packing food. Am I audible? I think Vanshika, you're on mute. So
So, am I audible now?
yeah, you are audible. Yes. Okay. What I wanted to understand is the acceptability of banana leaf as a packing material, especially when we talk of the Gen Zs and the millennials.
So, sir, basically, banana leaf is something which can be decomposed naturally, and as a packing, like banana leaf is itself in a very bigger and a larger form, so it gets very easy. Even banana leaf and the pattal leaves that we have, the dried leaves, so we can combine them together and make it a box or bowls or plates, so that it is naturally biodegradable and it can be used, as as banana leaves are 100% natural.
Okay.
And as a Gen Z person, if I am getting some new packaging idea, so I will be obviously very much attracted towards that packaging idea, and I can even influence that through the social media or through social media.
Okay. There was one slide which even said about eco-conscious restaurants. Yes. You
Yes,
have
sir.
any examples to support and any initiatives that they have done that you can speak of?
Yes, sir. I do have one example of Bombay Canteen that is in Lower Parel. So basically, they are serving their food in the jackfruit leaves and using potato peels for their liquors.
Okay, very nice.
As well as, so there is one more restaurant that is Toast and Tonic in Bandra, which is using organic fruits and flowers for their flavors.
Okay, thank you. Uh, One more point which I wanted to understand is you said the advantages which are there of such sustainable methods in the culinary industry is reduced operational costs. Can you justify this with an example?
Sir, it will reduce the cost because if we are switching from non-biodegradable to biodegradable substances, because majorly the plates, the cutleries that we are using, it is made of such materials that are harmful in the nature. So if we are switching to dry leaves, that is a patil or banana leaves, so it can actually help to reduce the cost.
Okay, the last question from my bucket. Any institutional initiatives which you can recommend? See, because we are generating a lot of professionals to work into the industry and move out. So, any institutional initiatives that you can recommend where such concept can be uh, put into the young minds before they walk into the industry?
So, sir, we can actually demonstrate them by adapting that into individual institution. For example, as I am working as a faculty in Thakur Institute, so I can teach my students like environmental sustainable as a whole subject where they can actually accept or learn that how they can accept the biodegradable materials more than the non-biodegradable, which can reduce the global warming.
Okay, thank you very much, Vanshika, for your presentation and the question answers as well. All the
Thank you
best.
so much, sir. Now allow me to share my screen again.
Yes, please.
So the next speaker for today is Mr. Amok Prabhu.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, chef.
Good afternoon, Amok. You're loud
Am
and
I audible
clear.
and visible, sir?
Yeah, loud and clear.
So I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Sure, sir. So the topic for my case study is going to be to rediscover forgotten culinary traditions. That is basically you need to understand that there are a lot of. Before I start with our entire PPT, I'll just go into depth. We as Indians have a lot of traditions. May it be the dance culture, may it be the festivals, or maybe the food. Now, when it comes to food, each different state has its own tradition, have their own cultural practices, they have their own methods of cooking the food. Let's just take, for example, Patrado that's in South, then we have Patra that is there in the Gujarat. So these are the two similarities, but they have different methods of making. Now, when it comes to the topic that says to rediscover the forgotten culinary traditions, now what is happening is we have come to a day and age where people are finding fast and easy techniques to consume the food, but forgetting the entire tradition that was there. So, as my point says, traditions serve as a bridge between generations, significant challenges to cultural preservation, sustainable food practices, and health, forgotten the culinary traditions, and diminishing the cultural heritage. Now, there was a time when we all, as kids, have sat down with the grandmas or maybe with the grandfather, someone like that, who's going to be cooking the food during our vacation period. We saw them going from the scratch, like getting up early in the morning and preparing the food, then finishing of the food. There are some times when they also intend to keep the food for a couple of days so that it marinates well, or the juices of the food is absorbing all the juices, and it's going to give you a better taste. So all these traditions, which was there to a certain extent, has all come down to, and it's like basically it's lost everywhere. students and the younger ones, the Gen Zs, don't even understand what exactly how exactly it is beautiful to appreciate the food. They are all preferring a faster way of consuming and finding an easier way of preparing the food. Now, when it comes for my literature review, I've done two different ways. That's one is research interest and research focus. The first one is basically where we are trying to understand how the younger generations are not even close to finding it, like showing one keen interest, when remotely a smaller person of interest to understand ki kya hota hai. And the research focus is basically my focus is going to be towards the Gen Zs to understand how the olden days the food was being cooked. My research ahead is all about the objectives. It's basically the cultural heritage and the identity. When we go back into this particular findings, and if we can bring all the younger generations to highlight what exactly how the country has different states with different ways of cooking, they'll understand how beautiful this country is, how beautiful each state and each method of cooking food is going to be. Similar way, it's going to be sustainability. Now, if we see the modern days of cooking and the olden days have a lot of reusable things, less of wastage, comparing to the current trends where all the food that is being made, and so even if suppose they say it is environment friendly, there is some way or the other where we find that there's some kind of a wastage. But when it comes to an olden days, the cultural, the old methods of cooking, we rarely, very rarely, we find some kind of a wastage that's going to be happening. Health benefits, there's very rarely you'll find an oily food or any kind of a baking or something like that. It's all about steaming the food or cooking the food, stewing. These are all the basic methods which are mostly utilized in different parts of a country. Rediscovering the lost ingredients. Now there are a lot of raw ingredients that are there which we have stopped utilizing. Today's generation don't even understand what exactly a star anise is or a dagar fool, if you can say. When we say dagar fool, they will not be able to click. But even say for me at the age of 30, 32, we may not utilize it on a regular basis, but at least we can picture what exactly a dagar fool is. Adaptation to the modern taste, globalization and risk of loss, community and economic impact. Now, when it comes to adaptation, it's all about we need to understand that how am I supposed to give the old tradition food to the current generation. Now, current generations is going to be difficult because first of all, they have a complete no when it comes to adjusting to something new or accepting something new. So I have to find different methods in order to showcase and market my food value so that these current generations can at least enter these restaurants and maybe taste these food, if not a home food. Now, my methodology was basic, very simple. It's a research design. The research design was planning how to get the data collection. It was two different methods. One was primary and secondary data collection. Primary was all about the interviews and the field observation, which I was able to see it across whenever I used to pass through the different restaurants or outlets or my own personal visits. And the secondary was basically all the books and paperworks and internet. Yes, I did take some support and help watching all these vlogs and Instagram reels where you can come to know how people are interested when it comes for liking the traditional foods compared to the modern trends like the Korean food or maybe the American food, something like that. And the data analysis was basically quantity and quality. I was more focused on the quality. I didn't care if the quantity was less, if the feedbacks were less, but I wanted an honest and true response from the customers. Limitations for the local supply as well as the availability. This is where I came to understand that even if suppose tomorrow I'm able to get the attention of the younger generations to like this particular thing, how feasible are these local produce going to be available? There was a time when we can go to the market that is close by the station and we would have at least one or two vasai wala person who was to bring all the vegetables and sell it out. He'll come in the specific time period, maybe in the morning, somewhere around 7 to 9, and the evening between 5:30 to 8:30, and he used to wind up and go. But he used to have these proper, beautiful, raw ingredients, which was, I don't know, like you can say, you can feel the freshness of the food. But these are the same people where we rarely see nowadays. So that those were the limitations, and these are the few data collections that I had found. Now, the questions were very simple. How often do you cook traditional meals? Which of the following motivates you to try forgotten recipes? how important is it for you to learn about forgotten cultural traditions? Now, in all these findings of mine, I found out one simple thing, that it was very difficult for me to see the interest from the public, mainly the generations who are going to be our future. The conclusion is very simple, sir. For my side, is that I want to make sure that the current generation is able to understand and appreciate, and maybe even put this particular tradition of the olden days of cooking and adapt to it. That's it from my side, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Amok, for your presentation.
Yes, sir.
I'll just repeat your topic. It was to rediscover forgotten culinary traditions.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Now, to take ahead with the questions, you said you had a few interviews which were done to understand in detail about it.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you just give me a couple of samples who were interviewed, the people who were interviewed for this purpose?
So for me as a faculty, I had a huge group of students, first year, second year, third years of college students. So it became very easy during my lectures or maybe a small conversation. I used to always ask them and interrupt with regards to giving them hints of the olden days of food. So if there is some kind of a topic of South Indian food or maybe a Gujarati food or a Rajasthani food, I would prompt of a particular dish name and then they would be confused. Even though they belonged to a South Indian culture or maybe Rajasthani culture, but they were not aware about it. Then when I started describing how they consumed it, then they were like, okay, yes, ye humne dekha hai, we saw this thing at our grandmother's home. So that's how I did my research.
Okay, now looking at culinary traditions, which are the ones which are forgotten, uh, can you even give us a couple of methods how this can be reintroduced into the current generation?
So first thing is we need to understand the marketing trend in the current generation is all about social media. Now, if suppose we can get all these, like the highest viewer YouTubers or Instagram bloggers or something like these, to go to these local people and showcase this and try to repost it and find the better methods of marketing, then we can reach out to the maximum crowd, because the generation today are believing in Instagram, YouTube, or Snapchat or Facebook. So that's one particular way. And the second way is if we can at least have now we have the brunch menus on Sundays. So if we can keep at least one dish in such kind of a fancy place where they are, let's say, a part of the meal, like a tabe de hot, like a TDH menu, where you have three different courses of your own choice, and one course is a special treat from our side. But at our side, every Sunday you're giving one cultural dish.
Okay, nice. Uh, you had one of the slide which mentioned a point called as health benefits which are there of the culinary traditional preparations which are there. Can you support it with a couple of examples?
So, for example, so now if you go to see the traditional food, none of the food is going to be including some kind of harmful or pre-cooked or dried or some kind of like an ingredient. We always utilize biodegradable or completely natural food. Maybe simple as your curry leaves. Now there are or your you can say green peas. The current generation prefer to have frozen green peas compared to the older generation where they used to love open up their entire skin and then remove it. So this is where we are helping our current generation from avoiding those chemically based chickpeas which are going to be frozen and utilize the naturally freshly grown green peas.
Okay, now a lot of people like to use modern methods for one factor which is time. How would you look at time management if we want to get into the culinary traditions back again?
So, for example, now if it goes to an olden days, there were food that were quickly made, and there was some food that needed a lot of time. Now, if we can see, I understand your question, sir. Time management is important considering that today's generation and the families are all working, so they have limited amount of time to go all to the basics and cook. but sometimes it's also joyful to go into the particular basics, struggle, and the joy of eating that food after going through all this couple of hours of preparation, marination, and cooking and having it. It's also a beautiful experience.
Okay, I'll come to the last question for you for the day, and I want you to differentiate between a trend and the practicality of rediscovering forgotten culinary traditions. I'll reframe it for you for to give you a more clearer idea. See, there are a few things which we look as a trend. It's fun going on the gas range and trying to cook something which is traditionally, and then trying to implement it on an everyday basis is the practical part of it. So for a trend, for fun, as you said, it's joy to have yourself invested for a few hours to get something prepared. It's one side of it. The practical part of it is the other side of it. So how would you rather distinguish people adopting the methods, whether it should be just a trend or whether it should be part of practicality, and on a regular basis it should be done?
So now, if you can see, it can be a mixture of both. Now, a trend is the only way I can make these younger generation intrigued. So, if suppose if I plan out that every Sunday there's going to be a unique dish, something from the old culture, and the entire week you're working, but at the same time you have it inside your head that there's going to be this kind of a preparation. So there's an excitement. Now the trend is to create a new dish in each Sunday, but the practice is going to be that you have to stick every Sunday from Monday to Saturday. You enjoy Sunday to Saturday, you enjoy, but on Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon lunch, you have to make sure that you have to go to the basics. Now when you go into the basics, it's not only going to get you back to the roots, but also the trend is there because you're taking pictures, you're putting it on the social media. You'll find different methods of presenting the food because people are going to like it. So now that particular liking, appreciation, reposting, and all this thing is going to create an inspiration or maybe motivate you. Maybe because today you got 100 likes, so you may be thinking that okay, this is the basic I did. So tomorrow, like the coming Sunday, I'll go back to the basics. I'll cook something nice, present it better. So it goes hand in hand. The trend and the practice has to go hand in hand.
Okay, thank you very much, Amok, for your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amuk sir. So the next person who will be representing is Mr. Nikhil Savade. Sir, please allow us a moment to share the screen.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Nikhil, sir. You're audible.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah. Uh, so my topic is sustainable sourcing of ingredients, farm to table, and initiatives. Okay. So first of all, I just want to explain what exactly the farm to table. The farm to table means the ingredients directly come from the farming to the directly to the restaurant, and these kind of all operations are not working here, but working it's not only in depth, especially this kind of operations are working in abroad like UK, USA, and Australia and all. So main focus is about the farm to table is freshness and nutrition and transparency. First of all, study included literature review, case studies, and environmental, economic, and data analysis. What is the benefit? If I am thinking about the benefit, it included the reduce the food miles, which means directly that food is directly sent it to the restaurant. It's not middleman over here. that food should go directly fresh to that restaurant. Okay, so if I'm giving you the example related to the
Nikhil,
farm to table,
sorry to
there are
intervene. Sorry to intervene in between. You have a presentation that is there for this thing because it's not coming on the screen right now. So if that can be taken care of.
let me check, sir, just one
Yes,
second.
please. Thank you.
Sir, is it visible?
Yes, now it is.
Oh, sorry for that interruption, sir. Sir, I just continue with the topic about. I'm talking about the farm, and as per the example, if I'm talking about the example which I gave you right now before, sometimes before, like abroad, there are so many restaurants. They are using a farm to table, means farm to ingredient they are using. So first of all, there are so many my colleagues are over there. They are most of the time they are telling me that directly they are purchases ingredients. It's not only the farm. It's like the meat product also directly to the farm. So it's benefit to the farmers and directly to the restaurants. So that we can talk about the cost, which is not so much cost they are applying to the restaurant because there is no middleman. Okay, so most of the time they have a menu also in that restaurant, and that restaurant they just mention in that where they can bought it that all the ingredients which farm, so that guest will come to know exactly ki, where they can also purchase from that directly to the farm, so which is really good for the health also, and it's a benefit which I already mentioned in that, it's a nutrition related also. So about the review and of the literature which I can mention in that originated from the 1970s is in the movement supported by researcher like Gutman and 2004. Benefit is sustainable practice, lower carbon and impact. Challenges are seasonality, scalability, and access equalitability. The objective, we can say that main object is a trace evaluation and adaptation to the global challenges, study regional system role in sustainability and food resilience, analyzes consumer behavior based on health and environmental concern, least support laws, grants and initiatives, recommended strategies for stakeholders. Is about if I'm talking about the history of this movement, about we can talk about a farm to table which is started from 19th a local food exchange. 1915s is USPC parcel post for food. 1940s and 50s a rise of produce food. 1970s is chase opens of opens. 2007 is a national farm to school network launches. So now, in my point of view, what is why there is an importance of farm to fork or farm to ingredients directly send it to the restaurant is maintain the environmental protection, support to local economics and communities, promote healthier and food supply, build a farm and consumer relationship. So it's a benefit we can talk about that increase of food security, lower in environmental impact, greater community self-reliance, sustainability through eco-friendly cultivation, opportunities for all skills and food service. In my point of view, sir, it's over. Thank you so much, sir. Is there any question related to the that topic?
Yes. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Now, understanding this concept, farm to table initiatives, there
Yes.
was a slide which also mentioned about the law and supportiveness. Do we have any specific laws which do take care of the farm to plate initiatives?
The laws, we can talk about that farm to table. We can say that it's about law. They are available right now from not here. There we have, of course, we have a laws also, and but these laws are specially applicable to over there in abroad. Slowly, that concept is coming from this over here in India.
Okay. If I want to introduce this in a few restaurants in Mumbai, how
Okay.
practical do you think is this approach?
Is if I'm so my is as a research for this related to the topic. There are some restaurants we have in Mumbai. It's like a sequel bistro and a juice bar. The Banyan Tree Cafe also, which is situated in BT. I mean CST. Then Corner House also we have. They are. Most probably they are approachable related to the farm to table. They are purchasing so many ingredients directly to the farm. Second thing, which I work in the one restaurant, Burger Brasserie. Over there in that restaurant, one of my owner is purchases lettuce directly to the owner, which he's produced directly from his own house, and he directly send it to my owner. So which is also one of the great example for me and for my research paper.
Okay. Is it possible for a commercial outlet to design its entire menu based on farm to plate?
Yes, it is of course possible, sir. Is it because right now most of the people are, they are thinking about the healthy related. They are thinking about to maintain the healthy things. So of course that the owners and the most of the owners are, they are maintain that related that cuisines also, and even those they are tie up with that also, that that the customers, or we can talk about the people, that they can offer all the that benefits to that the customers, or we can talk about the consumers, that what kind of a we have a menu and what is the benefit related to that.
Okay. On the opposite side, what can be the challenges if I completely rely on farm to plate as a menu offering in my restaurant?
Challenges, as per we can talk about that, if there is seasonability, we can talk about that. If there is a seasons, or as per that, there are most of the time, it will take time to directly send it to the restaurants, because there is no middleman. If there is a middleman is there, so he can try to send it to to your any kind of ingredients to directly to your restaurant. But if the farmer is sending, it will take time. So there are main challenges is there. Of course, there are weather challenges also there, and in that weather challenges, we can say that the transportation also, there are main challenges also, because if you're thinking about, we can whenever time we can discuss about that, the road which we have right now, which is very bad. So because of that only, which is not good for our ingredients which we are getting from the farmers.
Okay. One more thing which comes into my mind is it possible for people to have farm to table initiatives put up not only commercially but for their domestic kitchens as well?
Yes, of course, sir. It's a commercially, of course, which I'm talking about the the restaurant which I mentioned over here, but which I work, which was I working in that restaurant, like it's a cloud kitchen. Is he is working, he is running his cloud kitchen in his personally is his home. So he's purchase the ingredients directly from that farmer. So if example as a lettuce which I give you. So this is a domestic level also, which is benefit to the owner and the farmers also.
Okay. How will you relate terrace gardens with farm to table initiatives?
The terrace garden right now. So example, we can talk about that. The which we can edible flower, which they are using for the garnishing and all, and that edible flower they are using for that terraces, and in that terraces they are planting bases also. As per the lettuce which I'm talking about, especially the the about lettuce which we can talk about that. iceberg lettuce also most of the time they are farming to the the terrace and all.
Okay, have you heard of a concept called as rent a farm?
Rent a farm, I never heard about any kind of a rent a farm, what exactly the concept, but which directly that restaurants, especially Michelin star restaurants, are directly they just rent a farm from that farmers. And rent a farm is a concept like an innovation of a model that individual families and all. So because of that only it works like that is they can take that farm area is on the lease basis. It's a benefit we can take that it's a chemical free also, fresh production also. It's a, we can talk about the green soil they are using in that farm. So because of that only.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much, Mr. Nikhil. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, allow me a moment. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
अरे अपना ये present- Hello, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Sir, we would like to have some words from your end. How was your experience and feedback for us?
Yes, sure, I can do that. We had the last presentation done by Mr. Nikhil.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay. Uh, First and foremost, I would thank the management and the trustees of Thakur Shamnaran Degree College for having me chair the conference, the National E-Conference on Transforming Bharat, Role of Commerce, Science and Humanities in the 21st Century. And exclusive thanks even to the branch, the Thakur Institute of Hotel Management, which is under the umbrella of Thakur Shamnaran Degree College, for having me on the board and allowing me to go through the research papers which people have presented as part of their PPT presentations. Uh, we had a total of 8 people who had their presentations put up. People had topics which are very close to tradition. People had topics which are very close to the modern world which is there. People had topics which are very close to sustainability, and people had topics which were discussing on food and beverage both together. Observing the presentations which were done, a good amount of research is seen from people who are part of the entire presentation team, with people doing primary, secondary research, people having data collected from interviews as well. What I would recommend is when research is conducted regarding a topic or a concept, a broader mind map be put in practice, and a broader mind map will allow people to invite ideas from multiple spheres. For example, if we talk of concepts like farm to table is something which can be practiced not only in commercial lines, it can be even practiced by people at home to do it. Talking about rediscovering forgotten culinary traditions. Culinary traditions is part of, yes, of course, the word which is there at the last itself, traditions. which needs to be passed on from one generation to another, and becomes a little difficult when you're in a cosmopolitan city trying to mess around with different type of cuisines around you, and keeping around with tradition becomes difficult. And I was quite happy even with the topics which came up, like green practices which are there in hospitality, and also sustainable methods which can be put up as part of culinary industry. I would have been very happy to have more insights from chef as well. I agree that being a day of work, chef might also be busy with his own uh, tasks. But anyways, it was having the company of chef was something that I could have even appreciated with. And for all the people who are researchers and would want to have further papers presented for their own research, we need to understand that whenever we put across an idea, it's always good to support it with somebody else's research which is already being done with it, and to have stronger evidence around the research which we are presenting. Now, when that comes in, it puts in more confidence you as a presenter to put across the ideas and have them expressed in the right words. Ultimately, it's always a learning experience from both the sides. You people sitting at the other end and me sitting at this end. It's a learning experience for all of us, and learning should be fun. I hope you will have more fun having more research done in future, and that should benefit your students in future as well. Thank you very much again for giving me this opportunity for being part of your presentations.
Thank you so much, sir. We'll surely note down your feedback, and I hope so we all will do much more better research in the future. And I would like to conclude this event. So, good afternoon, everyone, again. As we come to an end to this wonderful and insightful conference, it's my pleasure to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks on the behalf of the Institute. First of all, a big thank you to all the speakers and the guests for sharing your knowledge and experiences with us. Your thoughts have truly inspired and informed us about the importance roles that commerce, science, and humanities plays in shaping our country's future. A special thank you to the chefs Samir Sheikh and Mr. Ozil Faya for joining us and motivating us with your inspiring journeys. We are truly grateful for your presence and your words. To our principal management organizing team, thank you for your support and for making sure everything was planned and managed smoothly. To all the participants and attendees, thank you for being here, for engaging with the sessions and making the event lively and meaningful. Let's carry forward the idea and energy from today as we continue to learn, grow, and contribute to a better future for Bharat. Thank you once again. Have a good day ahead.
Vanshika, would we be having the national anthem as it's there in the flow of events, or we are closing it here with this?
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
So, thank you so much, everyone, and thank you so much, Vasan sir, for your valuable time. So, here we'll be ending the session for today.
Okay, thank you all of you once again. It was nice connecting with you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I'll have the
Thank you,
necessary
sir.
documents mailed on the same email ID onto which I had received the email from.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.